Hi there, I'm Andrew Frazier, founder of Doggy Zone, and I'm here with one of our dog training experts, Jessica, who's been with us for many, many years and has done an amazing job here for our clients. And we're here to talk about kids and dogs and how those two can work or not work real well together. And I want to share with you first a little tidbit of information that many people don't know about, but it's really part of the reason that's driven us to make this video, which is that 68% of kids will be bitten by a dog by the time they reach the age of 5 years old. Pretty wild. I've got a 1-year-old and a 3-year-old currently, and I am all over it, but I know that this is obviously an issue that's been going on for a long time. That statistic came from a survey that NIH did back in 2013, but I'd be willing to bet that it might even be higher due to the number of dogs that people have now after the pandemic. So, Jessica, can you talk to us a little bit about how is it that we can prevent these types of issues and set up our kids and our dogs to have a great relationship and not be afraid of each other or whatever the case may be?
Sure. The first thing that we want to do is to be able to create structure and boundaries. The big point about that is to be able to control the household, to try to control the dogs as much as possible, to not let everybody run around like crazy, which I remember when my son was much younger. It can be kind of hard to manage a young child and dogs, especially if you have multiple ones. But really being able to create good house rules and to set everybody up for success.
Awesome. So can you hit on like what are some of those house rules that we would actually want to like consider putting in place for the kids?
Yeah, for the kids especially, and this is just something that worked a lot with my son, is being able to, certain things when the dogs are resting, to have easy, soft hands on them, to not put your fingers in the crate, don't put your face in the dog's face, or your kid's face in the dog's face. Don't mess with the dogs when they're eating or chewing like a high-value bone, because those are really, really bad opportunities that could end up with a potential bite.
Yeah, absolutely. That makes a lot of sense. How about on the dog side of things? How is it that we can best set the dog up for success? Like, what are some of the training that needs to be done with the dog so that they can have great interaction with the kids?
So big thing with the dogs, a lot of challenges that we see a lot of our families having when they come in especially for evaluations, is that the dog are chasing after the kids, running after them, trying to nip them, jump on them. And so a lot of the training is going to come into being able to have a good recall with your dog, to be able to call them off of distractions, because that's really what the kids are, is big distractions running around. To be able to work on having them settle and relax, especially when there's Legos all over the floor, to being able to drop toys and to not ingest them. So there's so many different things that go into the training.
Yeah, makes a lot of sense. I know for me, one of the things that I've told many clients over the years is that this goes to training both the dog and the kids and the adults, really. But when we have a dog that is too much per se, like they're doing a lot of jumping or maybe play biting with the kids, is to teach the kids that they really need to become as still as possible. And so we have a couple of different ways that we talk about doing that. One of the things that I'll tell people is have your kid pretend to be a tree. Put their arms up and hands up high and look up and completely ignore the dog. Don't make any sounds. If you're making a sound, it's mom or dad, I need some help. But it's be still, be a tree, and don't play to what it is that the dog might be trying to encourage. And so we refer to it as be a tree and also freeze tag. Like if you're running around and playing and the dog starts to get a little too much, freeze. Pause. Once the dog settles down, then you can go back to running and playing and goofing off again. But as soon as that dog fires back up, time to freeze again. So I know that's an approach that we love sharing with people here, and one that can be very effective in a pretty short period of time once the dog understands the rules. but definitely needs to be practiced consistently. Is there anything else that stands out to you that you would want to share with people who are working to get their dogs and kids getting along
On
better?
the same page, yeah. Well, depending on the age of the kid too. So I think that kind of plays into this as well. Being able to manage whether it's a toddler or more like the 6 to 15 kind of age range there. But as much as you can involve the kids in training, I think is a wonderful thing. I remember when my son was younger, he had his own little treat pouch, and he was responsible for, when I was cooking supper, to work with the dog with its kibble for dinner. And so that to me is really important because that builds communication and reliability too. So it's not always, Mom, help, help, help. So it's being able to teach that sustainability as well.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So I don't think we'll add anything else to this. We could spend hours and hours talking about this, but I have a feeling there's a part 2 to this video coming in the not too distant future. So I think that pretty well sums up what we have for you here today, but we hope that you learned something new, and we wish you and your kids and dogs the best of luck together. Have a great day.